Guys, welcome back to Witnessing Shots with Smitha, and today I'm going to teach you what is jaundice and what are the types of jaundice, including its pathophysiology and signs and symptoms. So here we will not be discussing about the management of jaundice since it's not a very important question for 10 marks or 5 marks. So it is asked for 2 marks usually. So here we'll see what is a jaundice. So jaundice is when the bilirubin concentration in the blood is abnormally elevated and all the body tissue, including the sclera, which is your white part of the eye, and the skin become yellow tinged or greenish yellow. This condition is called as jaundice. So jaundice becomes clinically evident when the serum bilirubin level exceeds 2.5 mg per dl. So when your bilirubin level, the serum bilirubin level in your blood goes higher till 2.5 or more than 2.5, this then only we call this condition as jaundice or icterus. It is also known as hyperbilirubinemia. It means that hyper means elevation, bilirubin means the serum bilirubin, and emia words indicate in blood. So when the serum bilirubin level in the blood gets elevated, this condition is known as jaundice. So the causes behind jaundice, so why jaundice is occurring. So if you guys know that bilirubin is something which has to do with your liver, because your liver will be helping it in converting into conjugated and unconjugated bilirubin, and also your bile duct, which is very close to the liver. If you have seen the anatomy and physiology, so you know where the bile and liver is connected. So in case there is any inflammation of the liver and the liver cells are inflamed, then this will not this there will not be a proper conversion happening for the bilirubin. And then inflammation of the bile duct. So if yes, there is an inflammation in the bile duct, so the bilirubin which is forming in the bile will, first of all, it will be um, there might be any chances of stasis or some other reason. Then obstruction of the bile duct. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. So obstruction in the bile duct, it will cause the bilirubin to stay in one place for long term, and that period will cause reabsorption, and again the reabsorption of bilirubin in the blood will happen. This will lead to hyperbilirubinemia. Then hemolytic anemia. So yes, if the person has hemolytic anemia, which means the blood, the RBC, the red blood cells of the blood will be breaking down in this case. Okay, so the word lytic means breakdown, and the hemo words indicate blood. So yes, your RBC and your hemoglobin will be broken down in this type of anemia, which will cause jaundice to occur, and I will tell you how this is occurring in case of hemolytic anemia. Then Gilbert syndrome is also, because here some of your liver enzymes are involved in this disease or in this condition, so this will also lead to jaundice. Then the symptoms, here we'll see the symptoms like yellowish pigmentation. So first of all, the first sign and symptom for jaundice is your sclera will turn yellowish. So here in this picture you can also see in this picture that this is the sclera, or it is supposed to be white part of your eye, which is known as sclera. It turns into yellow color, and there will be a pallor discoloration. So this is the first and foremost sign which we look for in any jaundice patient. And then there will be loss of appetite, because there is liver inflammation, there is your bile duct inflammation, there is a lot of causes behind this jaundice that will lead to anorexia. And the person will face diarrhea, and there will be yellowish color also. Usually the stool color is yellow, but in this case of jaundice, what will happen that the stool color will become pale, and which is paler than the usual stool. So usual stool is yellow, but this will become more pale, and the person will be very fatigued and very tired. And the urine color will also be dark yellow. So here you see the usual color of urine is similar to the water and it doesn't have any color. But if your urine looks darker, there is some reason. Maybe you are dehydrated or you are having jaundice. And there is also some other causes like having fever, itchiness, and nausea. Vomiting is also seen in these patients. So due to loss of appetite, the person will be facing weight loss issue also. Now, the pathophysiology, so we'll see how this pathophysiology works. So, these are some prehepatic conditions, maybe the causes. So, there could be vitamin B12 deficiency, thalassemia, which is a type of anemia, folate deficiency, and then enzyme defect, sickle cell anemia. So, these are some etiology and risk factors, so due to which this jaundice happens. So how this happens, I will tell you. Here in this figure you can see that this is your liver. Okay, this bluish color which is not being drawn in a prominent color, so this is your liver, and right here this is your bile duct. So from here only your bile formation happens, so this bilirubin formation happens. Okay, so you, this is your hemoglobin or your part of blood which is heme, it means hemoglobin. So this will be broken down and this will convert into unconjugated bilirubin, and also your bile duct secretes bile which will turn into unconjugated bilirubin. So once this unconjugated bilirubin stays in your blood and does not get excreted out of the body, this will ultimately look upon your skin. So this will give your skin a yellow tinge discoloration. Otherwise, this unconjugated bilirubin will be excreted out through the kidney and then it will come out in the urine and it won't be harming your body in any way. Okay, so the other thing is that the bile which is being um, thrown out of your body, if there is any extra bile or bilirubin which will be thrown out of your body through your urine or maybe through the stool. Okay, so here it will be turning into, the bile will be turned or converted into urobilinogen, which is converted by your gut bacteria. So the bacteria which is already present in your gut will be converting it into urobilinogen. So once this urobilinogen is not converted into stercobilinogen, this will be again excreted through the kidney. But once this is converted into scartobilinogen, this will be coming out of your body as the as your stool. So in your stool this will be um, coming out. So this is how your extra bilirubin is removed out of the body. So there could be any chance, there could be any reason that this process is not happening, that this conversion of bilirubin from unconjugated to through urine it is not going out, or maybe it is not converting into urobilinogen or this stercobilinogen. So in this case, why it is happening is there are some other reason behind it. Maybe there is cholestatic reason. So cholestatic means your bile is being obstructed or your gallbladder is being obstructed. So this could happen maybe due to an obstructive reason, or maybe it could be because of non-obstructive reason. So obstructive reason could be formation of tumor, or there is a cancer formation, there is some other problem like chronic pancreatitis. So this, there will be inflammation of the pancreas, so this will cause an obstruction happening in your bile duct, and then the bile will not be being released from there, so there will be a lot of reabsorption happening, because of which the bilirubin level will go higher in the blood. And the other reason is non-obstructive. So non-obstructive reason is not, it is directly obstructing that, but yes, it is letting that happen, that your bile remains in your one body part and causes to have jaundice. So this could be because of hepatitis, primary biliary cirrhosis, and it could be because of, in even in pregnancy also bilirubin level goes little high. And then in case of paraneoplastic syndrome, so yeah, this is seen that these conditions are interrupting in the removal of the bile or bilirubin from the bodily system. So this is how pathophysiology works. Okay, so moving on to the types. So there are several types of jaundice, like hemolytic jaundice, which we heard there, hemolytic anemia. So yeah, when your hemoglobin is broken down, there will be, this will cause jaundice to happen. Then hepatocellular jaundice and obstructive jaundice or hereditary hyperbilirubinemia. So hepatocellular and obstructive jaundice are the two commonest types which is associated with your liver disease. And other two diseases, other two types are associated with extra liver problems, which is outside the liver causing this, but the hepatocellular and obstructive is the it is directly associated with your liver. Now, what is hemolytic jaundice? That hemolytic jaundice is the result of an increased destruction of red blood cells, the effect of which is to flood the plasma with bilirubin so rapidly that the liver, although functioning normally, cannot excrete the bilirubin as quickly as it is formed. It means that when the hemolysis is happening, when the breakdown of blood cell is happening, this will cause uh, as a effect of it, there will be a lot of plasma coming as a flood into that area. So when that happens, so bilirubin also goes with the plasmas over there. But it even if you are a normal person with a normal function of liver, even in that case the liver will not be able to excrete that amount of bilirubin in a go. So that is the reason there will be high serum bilirubin level in the blood at that point when the hemolysis is happening. So why this hemolysis of jaundice happens is because of hemolytic transfusion reaction. Yes, there is a transfusion reaction happening. And then other hemolytic disorder, there could be anemia, hemolytic anemia, and some other disorder which causes heme or blood cells to break down. Then the complication involves that even if this is a mild case of hemolytic jaundice, it predisposes to the formation of pigment stones in the gallbladder. So there will be some pigment stones forming in the gallbladder, and which is not a good sign. So this pigment stone will, it may stay there for a long term, and then it will cause problem in the gallbladder. And then extremely, in cases of some extreme severe jaundice where the level of free bilirubin exceeding 20 to 25 mg per dl, this can cause brain damage as well. So it can damage your brain stem and causing some other neurological disorder along with. Then hepatocellular jaundice, which is caused by the inability of damaged liver cell to clear normal amount of bilirubin from the blood. So hepatocellular cell, which we already saw that it is associated with your liver function. So here the liver function is diminished and there is inability of your liver to clear the normal amount of bilirubin. Even if your body is producing normal amount of bilirubin, your liver is not in a state to clear that level of bilirubin from the blood, which in return there will be uh, there will be increased presence of your bilirubin in the blood, causing jaundice to happen. So why this occurs? This could be because of the cellular damage, or which is happening exactly because of infection. Maybe it is viral hepatitis A, B, C, D, or E. So basically this all happens because of some virus and infection. So that virus that affect the liver, like yellow fever virus and Epstein-Barr virus, and also some medication which is chemical toxic to your liver. So these kind of medicine and alcohol will cause this liver damage to happen, due to which there will be inability of liver to excrete this amount of bilirubin, causing jaundice. So the symptoms which we see over here, it could be mild to severe. There will be lack of appetite. There will be nausea seen in patient, malaise, which is a generalized weakness, and fatigue, weakness. Possible weight loss will be seen in this case also. Then in some cases of hepatocellular disease, it has been noticed that jaundice is not very obvious, even though the serum bilirubin concentration is high. But it is not being seen, the symptoms will not be shown in the patient. Okay, uh, it will not be visibly present in the patient. Okay, so here the it says that AST and ALT level will be increased, indicating that there is some cellular necrosis happening inside the body. But and the patient will also report some symptoms like headache, chills, and fever, which is because of the infection which is present in the body. But the main symptoms of jaundice, like yellow discoloration of the sclera and yellowish dark yellowish urine, these symptoms will not be shown and seen in the patient. So depending on the cause and extent of the liver cell damage, this hepatocellular jaundice may or may not be completely reversible. So maybe the patient doesn't show symptom on time, and this condition or infection persists for a long time in the body. And then based on the extent of the liver damage, if liver damage is on the great extent, then it could be a stage where we cannot just make the case uh, come back in a normal state. Maybe we have to go for a liver transplant or something. Then moving on to the obstructive jaundice. So obstructive jaundice is a jaundice where the, yeah, it says that jaundice of the extrahepatic type. Extrahepatic type, it means that happening outside your liver. So it may be caused by the occlusion of the bile duct, by a gallstone, an inflammatory process, a tumor, a pressure from the enlarged organ. So yeah, here because of any obstruction. So obstruction could be because of direct obstruction. Maybe gallstone is present in the bile duct, so that is directly obstructing. Maybe some inflammation is causing that obstruction to occur. Maybe a tumor is formed over there, and also pressure from your enlarged organ. Maybe there is pancreatitis or hepatitis. So in that case, what happened that your that organ will grow, and your bile will not get sufficient place or adequate place, so it will be compressed, that causing obstruction. Then the other causes will be, the obstruction may also involve the small bile ducts within the liver, which is intrahepatic obstruction. So in case of intrahepatic obstruction resulting from a stasis, stasis means remaining in one place. So stasis and inspissation, which is thickening of the bile within the within the canaliculi. So it may occur after the ingestion of certain medicines. So these are the list of medicines which we call as cholestatic agent. It means it causes cholestasis. Okay. So these are the reason of obstructive jaundice. Then hereditary bilirubinemia. So by the name itself, hereditary, it says that it is being inherited within family generations. So there will be increased serum bilirubin level resulting from several inherited disorders can also produce jaundice. So causes will be Gilbert syndrome, which is a familial disorder characterized by an increased level of unconjugated bilirubin that causes jaundice. Although the serum bilirubin levels are increased, liver histology and liver function test results are normal, and there is no hemolysis in this case. So this is it about the video. I hope you liked my content, and if you guys give me good comments over here, then I can start taking some classes on short or very short questions also. So I hope you guys like it. Do give it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Guys, please help me grow my channel, and I'll be very, very grateful to you all. So thank you and happy e-learning. Stay safe, stay home, and study well.